regional areas we're concerned about mental health, and the question has been put, is there a catastrophe in this regard happening in Victoria? We foreshadowed yesterday on Country Viewpoint, our daytime program, of a watershed day for Victorian politics, and there's a couple of observations that I want to make on how the joint sitting in Parliament proceeded. Now, the first observation is that Premier Andrews set up a set piece of ceremonial sitting and said he was hoping for bipartisanship with the opposition on fixing the mental health system. But the opposition, however, didn't hold back. The leader, Michael O'Brien, attacked the Labor government's handling of the pandemic and the lockdown, causing more mental distress. Going further was the Shadow Mental Health Minister, Emma Keeley. She's the member of Lowen, which takes in parts of the Wimmera, which we have listeners throughout those parts on our Victorian, Mallee and South Australian services. And also she hit out in front of the joint sitting by saying the government's delay in releasing a report had caused further mental harm, and that Mr Andrews was probably seething that his hand of bipartisanship was slapped away, and that the joint sitting in front of victims and their families became a political event. But let's reflect on what Mr Andrews has said. He quoted from a report 30 years ago and said, in effect, how regrettable and terrible it was that no action was taken on warnings that were given 30 years ago. And on this program yesterday, I was critical of the Morrison government and its Minister for Ageing, who had talked about kicking the can down the road for 25 years about aged care. Well, the Coalition has been in government for all but 6 of those 25 years. So in the same context, the situation for Victoria, it's been in government over the past 30 years of most of that time, where 25 of the last 36 years have been Labor premiers. So is Mr Andrews just as culpable for the inaction that has occurred in Victoria over mental health? Well, I would say it's fair to say that is the case. He's kicked the mental health can down the road in Victoria, and like with aged care to the Commonwealth, there is a massive mental health problem in Victoria that's going to require a very big clean-up of that can that is, well, spraying fluid everywhere.